Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Like the odds here. It's Tuesday morning, the day after Halloween. It's November the 1st, All Saints Day. And the Raptors were all saints last night with the way they took care of the Atlanta Hawks. We really did beat them all around in every single kind of way. You look at the team stats from last night and you pick a category and the Raptors won it. Trust me. Like, I'll do that right away, right off the bat. I mean, we outshot them. We shot 50%. They shot 46%. We got uh, 8 more shots than them overall for 46 made field goals to their 39. We also outshot them at the 3-point line, 41% to 38%. And we made 14 threes to their 11 threes. We shot better than them at the free throw line, 33 of 40 for 82.5% to their 80%. So, we beat them on everything. We out rebounded them. We had more offensive rebounds. They actually beat us on assists, but it didn't really matter. We did get that magic number that I like, 25 assists for the Raptors last night. That's right around where I would like them to be every game. And that's great. 13 steals, amazing. 6 steals by OG Anunoby by himself. 9 blocks to their 4 blocks. They had 18 turnovers. We only turned the ball over 7 times. We beat them on the fast break, 43 to 10. 43 fast break points to 10 fast break points for the Hawks. And points in the paint, 58 to 46. Just all around, just a butt kicking. A butt kicking. A butt kicking. That's what this was. Every single quarter last night, the Raptors scored at least 30 points. They had 34 points in the first quarter, 30 points in the second quarter, 31 points in the third, and 44 points in that last quarter last night. That's how you get 139 points. And you have everybody producing. Crazy. Now, on the other side of the ball, you look at Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, and these cats have been averaging like 60 points a game, the two of them added together. Well, what did they get last night? 34 points total added together. 14 points for Trae Young, 20 points for DeJounte Murray. So that is fantastic job on those two very good scoring guards that have been killing other teams this season so far. Well, we got their kryptonite. In fact, I think that we should not worry about Atlanta any kind of way. That we play them in the playoffs, we're going to kick their ass. If we play them again this regular season, we're going to kick their ass some more because they just don't have some answers for our roster build. They really do not do well against us. I think one of the things I'm going to say about Atlanta Hawks is different from last year to this year that has really changed and made them worse is losing Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter was their best three-point shooter in a lot of ways, and he was really good with Trae Young. Now you got DeJounte Murray playing next to Trae Young, and they're very similar. They're kind of very same kind of player in some ways. You don't have that difference in kind of style of play that Kevin Huerter had in the backcourt with Trae Young. Sometimes getting more talent and getting something better like that isn't better for your team because now they've got two small guards that really play very similar to each other. They're very duplicitous, duplicated between the two of them. And Kevin Huerter, who's been shipped out to Sacramento, is missed by the Atlanta Hawks very, very much. Very, very much, at least from what I can see from last night. All right, let's get into the comments. This is going to be a fun reaction. It was great to be at the game last night. Great to be inside the building. Adriana and I celebrating our anniversary and just having a good time, seeing all the costumes and watching the game and feeling the vibes. The Halloween vibes were strong. It was really cool to see the pumpkin display in front of the Scotiabank Arena of Fred and Pascal with the We the North carved in pumpkins. It's the picture for the stream today. Really cool art and just kind of like just fun to be in the building, see the Raptor, the mascot, do his costume changes. He did like 22 costume changes last night during the game, different costumes he was wearing, and just the general fun of a Halloween game. And of course, Scotty had a huge game last night, and he went once again on Twitch last night. Thanks, Shane Waters, for letting us know when he's going on, because you actually have been helping me get on there in time to see him lately. And I really appreciate that in the Facebook chat. Now, Scotty was interesting last night. I think this is going to be the pattern for him. He's going to get on Twitch after games when they win here at home, and he's going to celebrate the big W with the Twitch family. And he was watching the highlights of NBA games after last night. After the game, he watched the highlights for the game that he played in, and then he was watching the highlights of just general other NBA games. In fact, he watched Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons lose to the Milwaukee Bucks by 2 points. He was watching those highlights too and stuff like that. It was cool. And it was fun to talk to Scotty just a little bit there at the end of the night. I was saying to him, there's strong Halloween vibes in the building. He agreed. And what were some of the other things he was kind of talking about and stuff like that? It's really interesting how in depth he's getting and going over other teams' highlights and stuff like that. But yeah, Scotty having a great night, breaking his career record for threes, 5 3-pointers last night. And he hit those real early, like 3 really early, like right away and stuff like that. But Scotty looking so good yesterday. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see what's going on. Monique, my voice is pretty good. I was kind of limiting when I was yelling defense at different times. Very, very specific times I got very loud and stuff like that. It's funny. Yesterday, Scotty said, do y'all hear me yelling on the court in the middle of the game? And I was like, not really. We hear Pascal, but we kind of hear you. And I wonder if they hear me upstairs. Because at times I'm the only one yelling defense, and I get everybody going. You can ask Sue when she went to the game with us. I'll be yelling the defense, and then everybody will start yelling with me. And I had quite the peanut gallery around me as far as good young fans who were really starting to boom my voice further because they started helping me and yelling defense real loud. But yeah, it was a great environment last night. Great game. So much fun. Nice to have a rout and just enjoy a game. I'm sure all of you at home that watched it on TV enjoyed it just as much as us that went to the game, like Monique and Cool Cat and different people like that. All right, let's see what else is going on. Monique has lost her voice a bit. I'm not surprised, Monique. You were probably getting down and having a good time at the Halloween party we were at last night. Raymond Jacobs saying, my favorite part about blowouts is when the third stringers get to play. Dowtin's a keeper. I agree with this. Jeff came in and he just hit 2 easy shots, just looking real capable, really smart, and very efficient and stuff like that. Jeff Dowtin, I was so happy to see him get in the game last night also. And I was like, yeah, Jeff's out there. And I was actually cheering for Justin Champagny and the other guys too. Justin had some really nice stuff there in the garbage time also. Sue saying, good morning, everyone. What a game. Yes, it is great to see the deep bench out there, and for quite a long time too. Yeah, they got about 6 minutes of garbage time last night. Good stuff. I mean, Atlanta was kind of hanging around us for the first half of the game. We were pretty even. And then in the third quarter, we kind of busted it open. We got the double-digit lead, started getting that 100% Canadian maple syrup out and started pouring it on real thick. A 10-point lead turned into a 20-point lead, 20-point lead turned into a 30-point lead. And we won by 30 points last night. And that's just fun. It's just fun. I mean, the Hawks really had no answers for us in any kind of way. We just had so many different really good athletic players that were doing different things to them, that were hurting them in all kinds of different ways on the court, whether it's Scotty and his playmaking and just his threes and a little bit of bully ball, OG with his amazing defense with the steals and stuff, Pascal being Pascal, Chris and Precious coming out there with their bursts of energy, Gary doing what he does, KOLOKO doing what he does, just all kinds of great contributions by all the guys in the lineup last night. Really, really good. Let's see. Monique saying Dowtin over everything. Everything, Raymond. Yeah, everyone loves Raymond. All right, let's keep going. Nameless is saying, let's go Blue Jays. Why not? Next year's coming up soon enough, as soon as we can see. They got rained out at the World Series last night, I saw. So they'll be playing 3 days in a row starting tonight. That's what I'm hearing. M. Jones said, Ayo. I said, hey. I say, ayo, ayo. Name was saying, just kidding. Best game I've seen them play this season. Well, it is the biggest margin of victory for us. And we just had our worst margin of loss in the last game. It's nice to have a makeup game where we get the biggest margin of victory so far this season. Now we're going to go to San Antonio for Wednesday. I was telling Scotty about it. It's like, don't take this game lightly. San Antonio is playing very well, and they are not tanking for Victor right now. We got to very, very much play them tough. But we'll do the preview tomorrow for a game against San Antonio. A Texas two-step coming up this week with San Antonio and Dallas, the next two games and stuff like that. Green fish and ham. Welcome, Dr. Seuss creation. Finally, a drama-free game. Yes, there really wasn't a whole lot of drama in this game in a lot of different ways. The referees had a little section of time in the second half where they were calling really weird stuff, a lot of stuff all of a sudden. Pat Frere, just a little bit of flexing his muscle, but nothing too serious and nothing that altered the outcome of the game. So, yeah, the refs weren't that bad. The new ref wasn't bad. And Brian Forte did actually look out for us a little bit in the game. Pat Frere, yeah, he was definitely being a jerk at times. He was very quick with the whistle in the second half in particular. Yeah, but not a bad game at all. Green fish and ham. And thanks for the comment. 9:30 a.m. every single morning. You've probably been watching and you just commented now. Good to see you. Name was saying, good point. Green refs were great. Yeah, the refs weren't bad. They really weren't bad. They did not obviously affect any kind of outcome or anything. There were a couple little screwy calls, but you know what? Not anything that bad. And we got to the line a lot last night. And that was something that I was really hoping we could do against Atlanta because they do foul a lot. And seeing, somebody like Pascal get up there and get 16 free throws last night. That's fantastic. That was really him getting superstar kind of treatment with getting foul calls and putting him on the line. Now, I hate seeing Pascal miss the first free throw when he gets up there. He did that in the beginning of the game for a while. He would get up there, he'd miss the first free throw and make the second because he's been doing that a lot this season. But he got better by the end of the night, and it's really great. He only missed 3 overall and over the whole game because he's been missing a lot of free throws recently this year. Let's see. Randolph Phillips, good morning. Blessings to the beloved Raptor Freak gang. This was a good win that shows what our team can do when used the right way. Let's go Raptors. Yes, Randolph Phillips, thank you for your morning blessings. And thank you for just enjoying the game last night. It's nice to have everybody I care about on this channel. I know y'all had a good night last night, a great Halloween, and really enjoyed that victory over the Hawks last night. It was a lot of fun. And it's cool when we see it work really well, like locking together and kind of everybody doing good stuff. Like I said, everybody contributed to the win last night in their own little way. Even the garbage time guys who got out there at the end of the game, they had nice little bright spots to look at too. And it didn't hurt to see AJ Griffin score in the game last night also on the Hawks side. Something nice in that whole game story between Adrian and AJ and him being in the game and stuff like that. We back. That's what M. Jones is saying. I don't think we ever went anywhere. It's just some people thought we did. We fooled them. Monique saying, Cena stop Trey had me smile. Yeah, it's that's not easy to deal with Trae Young and DeJounte, both of them together. But the Raptors had a very effective defensive strategy for this, and they really stopped them. I was wondering about having big guys on them. And it worked really well. OG was a great person to guard those two little guards. And it was weird because when we knew Fred was questionable yesterday, I was like, okay, does this mean Malachi starts? Or what are they going to do? Well, they did the opposite. They went big and they put Scotty at point guard and started Christian at center. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. So this means that they really are going to be playing bully defense and bully ball on them on the offensive end also. That, guys like Precious, Scotty, and OG can somewhat contain those little guards. So that's fantastic. And, listen, once again, people are going to say weird things about Fred VanVleet right now. And this is kind of a similar situation to last Friday with Philadelphia sitting Embiid and them doing so well without him. Listen, let's not overreact. Fred does so many good things for this team, and he is an important part of this team and all this kind of stuff. But there are some people already saying that we want Scotty to play point guard all the time and stuff like that. And the writing may be on the wall in some ways, but listen, we do not. We want Fred on this team for everything as far as experience and the things that he knows and the things that he does. So please, let's not. I know nobody's saying that yet, but I'm going to expect it probably at some point. People will talk about Fred not being involved in the game and just how smooth it went last night. Because there is a lot of that chatter right now in Raptor spaces this morning. Let's see. G saying long, versatile defenders make them uncomfortable. Very much so. Bother their shots. And it's not just the little guards. John Collins is undersized. It's harder for him to play. DeAndre Hunter, stuff like that. It really was a really good effort controlling the Atlanta Hawks on their side of the ball when they had the ball. There was a couple of guys that did really well. Like DeJounte was being DeJounte. He made that corner 3, 4-point play. That was amazing. That's just a testament to his talent. But the fact, like I said, that we held those two amazing scoring guards to only 34 points when they've been getting between 60 to 70 points a game so far this season is a real testament to our bigs being able to guard little guards like that in that situation. Malachi did get some run, but only 9 minutes. He did not play a whole lot in this game. So we really were doing this with the big guys on them and stuff like that. Very interesting. Nameless is saying refs just let the two teams play, and you saw what happened. More of that, please. Yeah, I agree with this. I like it when they let them play and things aren't too crazy with the calling the whistle too much. That's what would happen to every other team if the refs called it straight. Well, we'll have to see. That some other teams match up better with us in some ways. And like Maxi's, in some ways, Maxi's this very special player to see what he did to us, and we could stop both DeJounte and Trey. So it really does kind of make Maxi look even better considering what he did on Friday night. G saying they gave up picks for Murray, didn't they? Yeah, they gave up a lot for Murray and stuff like that. There's a lot of dumb moves people are making around the NBA these days and stuff like that. I think San Antonio's brilliant for what they did and stuff like that. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not worried about their problems. Now, there's a sad story out of Atlanta last night. Takeover has been killed or died or something. I don't know how he died exactly, of the Migos. And now Trae Young is really upset about this morning, that a hip hop artist from the Atlanta area has passed. And I don't know the circumstances of his death. It probably is some sort of violence and something like that. So they're mourning another well-known hip hop artist this morning. Takeover was died last night, and that's in particular is hitting Trae Young hard because he's from Atlanta, playing for Atlanta, and these guys are Atlanta artists. And they all know each other and stuff like that. So it's really sad. This continues to happen. That whole culture around hip hop where people die like this and get murdered and stuff is really messed up. It's really messed up. A lot of people in their very young or in their 20s and stuff dying so young. It's insane. Sue's saying, so great to see us have an outstanding offensive night. Yeah, it was fun. Like Scotty shooting those threes is hilarious. He got 5 threes last night. He steps into them and they look so good. You're really starting to see the work that Pascal and Scotty have put in at the 3-point line this summer, as far as like just shooting more because they wanted to be more consistent and be more deadly from 3-point range. Well, Scotty was showing it last night. He did it a couple different ways. He had a step to the line from coming towards the line. He had a step over to the side and then shoot the three, a step away from the defender kind of thing. And it was awesome. It was really cool to see and stuff like that. As far as like Scotty's 3-point shooting, really good last night. And he did have a little bit towards the basket also. He had that little banker close in the low post, and he had a nice little lay-in going towards the basket also. But great job by Scotty. Let me just do my 3 stars of the game. Number 1 star is Pascal. I just think Pascal was just a leader, obviously, with 31 points. 8 of 21 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3-point range, 13 of 16 from the line, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks, no turnovers. That's a huge part of why I'm making him the player of the first star of the game, is because he did it with no turnovers. 31 points. Pascal looked really good in person. Like watching him in the arena last night, I was like, dang, Pascal is awesome. Second star is Scotty. It really is partly because he stepped in and played point guard last night and he got 8 assists, 7 rebounds, a steal, 21 points, 7 of 14, 5 of 9 from 3-point range. Just great stuff. Scotty's been shooting 50%, like exactly for like the last few games. Every single game, he's like 7 for 14 or something like that. And that's fantastic, Scotty. I told him that. It's like, keep shooting 50%. That's a real solid 50% shooting is awesome. That's actually, Scotty's actually my third star. My second star is actually OG. OG has to be the second star just because of his defensive effort. We saw him getting on the floor, scrambling to get those steals from them, and 6 steals, 2 blocks. That's fantastic defensive stuff. He was 5 for 10 from the field, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 14 points. And they were even talking on Twitter a little bit about him getting the first ever like quadruple double or quintuple double for the Raptors if he can get all those stats up. Like, because he was getting so high with steals. Who crazy if he could get like double digits in 5 categories at some point in his career. That'd be amazing for OG, but he is possible to do it. So yeah, those are my 3 stars: Siakam, Anunoby, and Barnes. They're all for different reasons. Siakam for being the man and being the scoring guy. Barnes for being the playmaker, being the point guard, and then OG for the defense and all that kind of stuff that he was doing there. Because he was really good. OG was amazing last night. This was probably his best game so far this season last night. Those steals were fantastic. Such good defense. Nako's here. Good to see Nako the Nacho. Best players were MVP, Pascal Siakam, OG, and Scotty. Yeah, that's just what I was saying. We're on the same page. This game tells me that a game against Golden State Warriors wouldn't be fun for Golden State. That might be right because in some ways there are similarities between the Hawks and the Warriors. And the Warriors don't look as sharp as they did last year. They're having some trouble so far this season working things out. I'd like to see them sooner than later because it'd be great to see them while they still haven't figured things out rather than later when they probably do figure things out. Jones is saying big points, Lex. The little things matter. Yes, the little things really do matter, like boxing out, like securing the rebound on your defensive end so that other team doesn't get second shots. There's all kinds of little things we're doing very well to ensure our success. And I love it. I love it so much. Nameless is saying OG's defense was suffocating. That was for sure. I mean, that one play where he tipped the ball one way around them and then he came around and got it the other way. It was just like they couldn't do anything with him the way he was playing on them. Sue's saying, yes, 6 steals for OG. Awesome. He had 5 of them in the first half. And then, like you said, he had so much good defensive energy as a defensive leader on the team. He helps the other guys, encourage them too. Let's go. Fun guy. Yeah. Monique saying Pascal totally waking up the NBA. I love it. He really is. It's kind of uncomfortable in a way for me to see the NBA actually kind of like embracing him and giving him his due finally. Because to me, it's like I'm just so used to them just slighting him. And I'm kind of like, something's weird here. Like, why are they talking about him all of a sudden it being in the MVP like discussion? Why is he like getting ranked down south and on ESPN stuff for being like doing this well and stuff like that? I'm a little bit untrusting, but I'm also like, hey, this is great. Maybe we should get used to this also. But yeah, that's so awesome. And I love that he is getting way more credit. Finally. And maybe OG will get more defensive credit also. Nameless is saying OG will make defensive team if he plays like that. That's what we hope. That's what we hope, especially if we talk about it. Matt Devlin puts it in the broadcast and starts dropping OG all defensive Anunoby and stuff like that. Then maybe we can make it happen. NBA champions 2023 Toronto Raptors. NBA champions 2023 Toronto Raptors. You just manifest by saying it. OG Anunoby, all defensive team this year and stuff like that. It'll happen. Adriana is here. Happy that the Raptor now has the record for costume changes. That's right. Adriana was so impressed with the Raptor changing his costume so much last night. She wanted to know at the end of the night, did he break the record? And yes, he did. 22 costume changes for the Raptor mascot during the game last night. Good job. And Adriana, thanks for going to the game with me. I appreciate and love you. Thank you for going with me. M. Jones is saying, blessings anniversary to you, Lex. Thank you, M. Jones. And thanks to Adriana. She's a big part of that. Isaac Kimball saying, Scotty was saying on Twitch that he needs to attack the paint more for shot creation. Yeah, good to see you in there, Isaac, and good shouting out back to you also. Yeah, this is something that Nick said after the game also. He likes Scotty hitting the threes, but he does not want him to start settling for shooting outside only. He wants him to be aggressive and get into the paint to score. And that just because he hit 5 3-pointers last night, he should not get too comfortable out there. The work for him to be done is down low in the paint with some nice little bank shots, some little leaners, lean into the guy and just put it in over their heads, all that kind of stuff, little baby hooks, whatever you want to do, Scotty, with your creativity, but down near the basket. And Nick doesn't want you to get too lazy and just start launching threes all the time instead of trying to work into the paint. And it's good that Scotty realizes this. And he was saying this on Twitch last night because it's right. It's true. That three may look good last night, but he should not depend on it to be his bread and butter going forward. He's not going to be a 3-point specialist. He's just the 3-point shot is a weapon in his arsenal, and his best weapons are near the basket. And that's why he really needs to beat them over the head with some low post maneuvers, just like Kawhi Leonard would, because that's where the easiest high percentage shots are going to be. That's where his bread and butter will be eventually. And I'm glad he realizes it and says it on his Twitch, because Nick Nurse is saying it in his interview after the game. And he better listen to Coach. Yeah. Sue's saying, so true. When I was at the game with Adriana and Lex would get the whole arena going. It was amazing to see. It's fun. I get right on it. Like as soon as the other team gets the ball, I'll be saying it first. And maybe it's just that I'm catching it first. And then it seems like everybody's following me. But I do try and get really loud and get them going right away at the beginning of the game. No messing around. It was interesting. We had a lot of so I think there were students sitting behind us. Now, they weren't speaking English. I'm not sure what language they were speaking, but they didn't know how to cheer the team at first, the beginning of the game, but they were mimicking me by the end of the game, which was awesome. So they learned the timing and when to like clap and when to say defense and defense, but they were very loud. I was in a very loud section. And we were really trying to do it. But thanks, Sue. It was fun going with you. And yeah, that's something I love to do is catch a fire of cheering in the arena. And you guys can do it too when you go to the games. Just be that leader and get them going like I do. Yeah, it's the best. I love it because people want to cheer this team to victory. And that's what we did last night. M. Jones is saying Dowtin looks like a legit talent. For sure. He's just really fundamentally good. And he just seems like he's very dependable. And sometimes that's what you really strive for on an NBA team. You want dependable dudes you know you can count on. And Dowtin looks like that for sure. He has the way of faking the defense by the way he moves. Got to try and utilize him. Yeah, I was hoping he would get to play more last night because I saw those guys dressed. And obviously it was partly because Fred didn't play. And so they put the two ways in uniform to be able to be available to play. And they did both get to play. And but we really did go with playing Scotty at point guard last night, mostly. That it wasn't even Delano getting in a whole lot either, or Malachi. It was really a Scotty and Pascal kind of share the ball kind of night and stuff like that. And it was very successful. It was very interesting. All right, let's see. KOLOKO was a beast. Best game he played. That's Nameless saying that. I think so too. I don't know if it's I don't know if comparing his games is very. I mean, he had his best scoring game for sure. He had 9 points as a starter last night, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks, 4 fouls, and 2 turnovers. He was plus 23, 4 of 7 from the field. That's his best scoring game for sure. And I don't know. It's hard to gauge if it's his best game overall because he had some really good games earlier this season already. Now, Pascal was saying in his interview after the game, and he looked really funny because he's wearing his orange ski mask. And he wouldn't take it off. He had it covered on. It was very Halloween-ish. It was kind of funny that he was wearing that. He said, I'm not going to take it off, is what he said. But he's saying that they're telling KOLOKO not to foul, not to reach in and do what he's doing. Like Nick Nurse is saying, we want him to hack at them. But then also Pascal was trying to say, we tell Christian not to reach in, he's going to get caught for fouls, and he's still doing it. He's not listening to us. So, but I think that KOLOKO was amazing. Like, honestly, he's such a different look on the court for us as far as just bugging people around the basket on the other team. They just do not have easy things down there. And we saw him blocking stuff left and right. And it was really fun to see. It's like yelling it in the crowd. It's like, block. And then he'd like, he like blocked one of the Hawks. And I'm like, yes. Oh, so good. So good. Tom Duke is saying, woohoo, he's got the party time and everything. I love it, Tom Duke. We had a thick layer of maple syrup last night, Tom Duke. That Canadian maple syrup was almost empty by the end of the night with that 30-point lead, nice and thick on the top. Yeah, it was awesome. Fun guy saying the morning after a win is always so beautiful. Yeah, it's not bad outside. It's a little dreary here in Toronto, still raining and stuff like that. I've noticed that when we have home games here and it's a rainy day, we win. That happened last night. And then it happened when we played the first game against Philadelphia last week. It was absolutely a miserable rainy day last Wednesday, and we kicked ass. But on Friday, it was a nice day, and we lost to Philadelphia. So rainy days are good luck for the Raptors so far here in Toronto. If it's a rainy day and they're about to play, that's good for the Raptors apparently so far. Let's see. Monique is saying this game pinpoint everything after last game. Yeah, they did a lot of stuff to change from the last game. Obviously, doing way better of catching up with young small guards like Tyrese Maxey that they didn't do well on Friday. They did a way better job last night keeping track and containing DeJounte and Trae Young. In fact, I was really paying attention to how much they scored all game. And I was like, man, they're not letting them do nothing. And it was like by halftime, I was like, these dudes have nowhere near the kind of points that they've been scoring against other teams so far this season. And that's a real good testament to the Raptors defense. Very good. Nameless is saying refs were great by our standards. What we're used to, I mean. Yeah, well, the thing about it is, can we pinpoint that the referees had a direct impact on the result of the game? Now, some of these little calls and stuff can add up and make it a direct impact. But a lot of this stuff was inconsequential because the margin was just too big. We beat them by 30, even if we got robbed for a couple points because of some calls, or they got hurt because of the refs for some reason. It all didn't matter because the margin was just too wide either way. So let's see. Nameless is saying they should keep this game tape as a reference when they don't play well. Yeah, well, obviously they can look and see a lot of good things that they did well and hopefully build off of them, maybe mimic them and stuff like that. Van Hoot is saying, good to see again, Van Hoot. Remember what I said was the key to the game? I'm going to try and remember. But that was yesterday, and I know we talked a lot about different stuff. Remind me in the chat. We'll go over it, and we'll see if you were accurate. You're probably right. Yeah. M. Jones is saying KOLOKO just flourishing in the starting lineup. He is such an interesting young man. And man, he's going to be something special. Some of the stuff that was really cool, and I was saying this to Scotty in the Twitch late last night, is that the two-man work between KOLOKO and Scotty looks so much like Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm not lying. Like that little pick and roll action that they did a couple times in the game last night, where KOLOKO would roll to the basket and Scotty would get the pass to him just right. That is so much like Irvin and Kareem from like the early 80s. That's kind of like two-man stuff they would do. And that is so cool to see us have that. And it really is kind of like a portal into the future of seeing what we may be having way more and more over the years to come. Like with this very young two guys here, a rookie and a second-year player, that they have so much potential for being two-man plays off each other with pick and rolls. KOLOKO and Scotty Barnes. So much potential. And we saw some of it last night, like flashed really cool. Sue saying, I thought Hunter was going to be trouble because he started off so hot with the threes, but he got himself in early foul trouble, and we basically took him out of the game. Yeah, he foul out. One of them fouled out. I know Collins fouled out, I think. Yeah, Collins fouled out early too. But yeah, Hunter got into foul trouble too. He had 5 fouls, and he did hit some threes early, but we did kind of take him out of the game. You're right. And that's a good point. He was getting a lot of dumb fouls. Like Hunter would get the really dumb fouls called on him and stuff like that. It's good that we're drawing fouls right now and stuff like that. And the refs are respecting us enough to do it. All right, let's see. Van Hoot is saying, I mentioned size and length is what they struggled with against the Bucks, and that was the key. That's right. That is what you said. 43 to 10 fast break points and 6 to 18 turnovers. That is the game right there. Fred is great off ball. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the turnovers were fantastic. Winning the turnovers and then, like, yeah, fast break points. Amazing. I just love that the league has been unlocked again from this shackles of the stupid take foul last year. That last year was so frustrating because I knew that our offense could be better and we were getting hindered because of the rules. Well, they changed the rules this summer and it's so much better for our team. In fact, that rule change about the take foul has been huge for us because we actually can get fast break points this year. And I love that so much. I love that so much because it's entertaining, it's fun, it brings the spirits up. At a home game like last night, the whole crowd gets into it more because they get actually good, like up and down the court basketball. And I'm so glad they made that change this summer, NBA. You did a good job in that. You know, you win me back over as a fan in general of the whole league by being innovative and making these adjustments to make the game better and more entertaining again. And I so much kudos for getting rid of the take foul or making it very punitive or bad if they do it, so they don't want to do it. David's here, Dizzy B. I believe you're number one in the league this morning, right now, David. Let me see. Yep, you're number one, and we got Greg in second, and then we got Kareem in third, and I'm in fourth. I'm in fourth. Yeah. But David's in first. We should rename Dowtin to No Doubt Him. You know, it's weird. I sat down in the arena last night and we're sitting next to this dude, and Adriana told me he didn't bathe. He smelled real bad. He was one of those kind of guys that didn't take a shower. He just doused the cologne over himself and stuff. But she had a little bit of trouble with him. But the beginning of the game, this guy was talking. Yeah, I don't think the Raptors are going to even make the play in. And they're saying all this crazy garbage and stuff like that. Yeah, they're going to get beat tonight by these little guards and stuff like that. I was listening to him and I was like, I didn't want to engage with him. I just want to listen to him. And boy, was he shutting up by the end of the game. It's so weird. Like, dude, why are you paying money to come to Raptors game if you're a Raptors fan or something like that? And you're going to say all this garbage. Like, I don't think they'll make a play in. I think that Trae Young's going to absolutely kill them tonight. He's saying all this stuff. And boy, was his checks wrong. He couldn't cash any of them because they were all off base and stuff like that. But yeah, I want to say this as a pun built off of Jeff Dowtin's name, that we need to stop doubting the Raptors in general. That there's no reason to be doubting these dudes. These dudes are studs. They're athletically gifted, amazing blue chippers that play in all kinds of different ways really good on the court. And that anybody who has doubt about the Raptors doing well this year or making the playoffs and stuff like that, just stop doubting them. And that'll be the way I use Jeff Dowtin's name, not just for him, because I don't doubt Jeff Dowtin. He has given me no reason to doubt Jeff Dowtin. And I would like to say the same thing about the whole Toronto Raptors team for our fan base. They have given us no reason to doubt them. Sure, there's been a couple of ugly games here and there, whatever. But overall, we look really, really good. And last night was another testament to it. You take this game last night, you take last Wednesday against Philadelphia, and you tell me how good our team is. Our team is very, very good. And there's no doubting the Raptors. There's no Jeff Dowtin Jr., the Raptors. Well, there is a Jeff Dowtin Jr. on the Raptors, but there's no Jeff Dowtin, the Raptors, is what I mean. Nameless is saying anybody suggesting we are better without Fred is daft. Like I saw some Fred for six-man comments last night. Yeah. I mean, listen, I would like look into that, but maybe not. I don't know. This is tough. These are good problems to have for Nick. Fred is such a valuable player for all kinds of reasons. And, you know, it may be that maybe we don't play him certain games because of matchups, because of things like last night. Like if Fred had a back tightness, that's why he was questionable yesterday and didn't play. Well, we don't want him running around if he's kind of half hurt with those guys. If we can have a very effective plan with this, but he's very good against most teams in this league. And it may be that he just takes load management games when the matchup is favorable for something like last night to happen and stuff like that. And that may be smart because that may be killing two birds with one stone. You getting a better chance to win because Fred may hurt us in that game particularly. And also you're getting to use him for get load management games for him. And you just calculate when they might be the best time and stuff. You can get back tightness any day. Trust me. Yeah, that can happen when you just get up out of bed, you get out wrong. Oh, my back's tight tonight, Nick. Okay. And then we avoid any of these load management questions also from the league. Let's see. Cool Cats here. Good morning, Raptor Free crew. What a great game. I love seeing out our defensive anchors of Pascal, OG, Scotty in action. I hope you had a fantastic time of the game last night, Cool Cat. I know I did. We had a great time. Lots of fun. Just great to be in the vibes of the building. Great to see all the different Halloween costumes that different people were wearing, stuff like that. So much fun. Great way to spend Halloween, especially for somebody like me. Let's see. Yeah, good one for Dizzy B. I like that too. Cool boys here. Twitch family's in the house. Scotty Barnes, Big Four, Big W's. Twitch fam is in the house. Just pulled up in a Lambo. A Lambo. You're in a Lambo. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out. The freaks come out. The freaks come out at night on Halloween. Freaks come out at night. The Raptor freaks. Scotty Too Hottie, first 20-point game this season. Nice to see. He needs 15 plus shots a game and be extra aggressive. Ooh, I cannot argue with these points. I'd love to see him shoot more. Love to see him be more aggressive. And yes, so awesome. Twitch family represent, cool boy. I said that to him last week when I met him at the Subway pop-up. I said, Twitch family's here, Scotty. He was like, he's like, Raptor freaks here. He's like, yeah, it's funny. I don't know. I think he's a little freaked out because Raptor freaks are everywhere. Takeoff. Yeah, I was really bad about Takeoff or Takeover. Yeah, sorry if I said the wrong name. Takeoff is his name? Takeoff. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's really sad. I hate hearing about this kind of stuff. And I know he's had some good videos in the last couple of years because I've seen some of them. I just didn't remember his name was Takeoff, not Takeover. All right. Well, that just shows my age. But rest in peace and condolences to everybody who cares about Takeoff. And that's really sad. I hate hearing about this kind of stuff. Van Hoot saying, where did you hear the news about Otto? Because I've seen nothing. It was straight out of Nick Nurse's mouth on Sunday. He did an interview and he said, yeah, he had a baby. And that's why he's been missing time. So, yeah, they're keeping it private. They're not putting it out on Sportsnet or anything. But Nick Nurse said it in an interview. And that's why he's been gone. His lady had a baby and stuff like that. Nako's saying Takeoff got shot after a dice game early this morning. That's crazy. That is crazy. What is this life? Oh my gosh. Geez, do you want ops? Do you really want ops? So that you walk down the street and you're worried about this kind of stupid shit all the time? Oh my gosh. Monique is saying it's the Rico Hines of effort. Threes. Hello, Scotty. Yeah, I've heard that Rico's been working with Scotty on the threes a lot and stuff like that. I love that Rico Hines is on our team and he is helping develop our players. I love it so much. It's so good. Van Hoot saying Barnes is shooting 52% on the year overall. Yes, you go, Scotty. You keep shooting 50%. That is badass. So good. M. Jones is saying toxic hip hop. Things really got to change sometime. Tired of this being in my favorite genre. It's just messed up. It's like, why does it have to be like this? When I do my music reviews on Friday, I really do not consider these videos that do any kind of glamorization of the gun culture and ops culture, drill culture, where they're like, they're like, they're like, pow, 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 in their videos and stuff like that. We don't need that kind of energy in the world, y'all. The best hip hop in the world is nothing to do with that kind of stuff. It educates, it illuminates, it helps people understand the problems in the world and how they can make change, like Public Enemy, KRS-One, Diggable Planets. There's so many different great hip hop artists over the years that made meaningful hip hop. And nowadays it's just the stupidest shit. It's like, you're drinking cough syrup and shooting people up and hanging out at a gas station. And like every single video is like having, girls twerking and throwing money around. And it's the same shit. Have some creativity. Be innovative in that genre. And the innovation is not in how many ways I can do gun mimics with shooting around and stuff like that, because they don't realize the kind of impact they have on young people and what they become. They see this over and over again, that takeoff, boom, killed last night. Well, that's what they expect for themselves and stuff like that, and some of the culture and stuff like that, with the gun culture, the gang culture, the op culture, the drill culture. I just don't have any time for it, and I do not celebrate it. So if you're a musical artist and you're in that genre, maybe change the way you do your stuff and maybe get more creative and do something that's more worthwhile, is what I'm saying, and stuff like that. It's crazy. All right, let's see. Alex is here. Alex Sterix. Trey Young with the triple double, his best game so far. Yes, Alex is bringing up a very interesting stat about Trey Young's stat line last night. He did technically get a triple double, y'all, last night. Let's look at Trey Young's stat line. He was 3 for 13 last night, 1 of 5 from 3-point range, 7 of 8 at the free throw line, 10 assists, 14 points, and 10 turnovers. So he did have a triple double last night, but one of the categories was turnovers. So yeah, that assist to turnover ratio is even. 10 assists, 10 turnovers. So that's really bad. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Alex. And it's true. Trey Young got a triple double last night, the worst kind of one you can get. Actually, maybe, I don't know. You can't get 10 fouls, so you can't really do another level to that. All right, Tom Duke's saying OG even bringing possible quadruple double into conversation is nuts. I love that. I mean, Olajuwon did a quadruple double. Alvin Robertson did a quadruple double. But I haven't heard a lot of quadruple doubles recently in like the NBA and stuff like that. How many guys are going and getting double digits in 4 categories these days? I'd love to see one of the Raptors do it sometime. That'd be awesome. Cool Boy saying I ate a lot of candy. Do you guys have trick or treating in Canada, or do you give out maple syrup with French toast? We do have trick or treating here in Canada. Everything's the same. I mean, maybe I would give out maple syrup with French toast, but I didn't stay home last night. I was at the game when people would be trick or treating around here, so I didn't give any candy out and stuff like that. My house is kind of scary anyway. I think when people wouldn't want to come and knock on my door, honestly, because it's a little scary. But yeah, no, we have all that stuff up in Canada. I forget. Cool Boy, are you in Florida? I'm trying to figure out what your handle is on Scotty's Twitch so I can know exactly which one you are in there. You know who I am, obviously. Are you Cool Boy in Scotty's Twitch too? What's your handle? I want to remember. Are you Flow Kid? Because I'm trying to figure out who you are. Nameless saying, what's Pascal averaging this season? Oh, that's why they were mentioning him down south. Yeah, his stats are the same as like Giannis and Luka Doncic. They're like the only 3 guys that have the same amount in points, rebounds, and assists right now. They're like averaging a certain amount of points, like 25 something points, and they're averaging like 10 rebounds each, and then they're averaging 6 assists at least each. And they're the only 3 dudes in the league doing it right now. So he's in the same conversation with Giannis and Luka right now as Pascal. It's like those 3 dudes together. It's crazy. Van Hoot saying 26 points, 8 assists, and 10 rebounds. There you go. There's the averages right there. And the only 2 guys that are like that in the league are Luka and Giannis. It's so awesome. Adriana, I appreciate you too. Monique saying my 3 stars were Pascal, OG, and Scotty as well. Yeah, it just makes sense. I mean, we could give some shine to Gary. Honestly, Gary was a really big part of the offense last night. 21 points, 7 of 16 shooting. He got 2 of 6 at the free 3-point line, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal, plus 28. Gary was great too. And a lot of those little shots that he would find in the mid-range and near the basket were very important for us to keep the scoring up and stuff like that. He was definitely a big part of the game last night. So I do want to mention him and make sure he gets a lot of credit also, even though he may not be one of the top 3 stars. He's very close. I actually thought about putting him in there. Johnny Alvarez is saying, can't wait to see Jeff on Maxey. If OG plays D like that every game, I'm good with an average shooting night. Yeah. And that's what people that have been critical of OG so far this season for not being more aggressive in scoring and trying to score more is, listen, that is not what we want the most from him. What Johnny's saying here is if he can play defense like he did last night every single game, can we just take that because we know that adds up to so much good stuff as far as helping us be the victor by the end of the game and stuff like that. Van Hoot is saying at Nameless, yeah, he has been great. Yet people are still pitting our players against one another. We have a damn good team. I know, and there's gonna be Fred noise now. Listen, we want to be as wealthy as possible. We want Fred on our team, even with the kind of performance we had without him last night. We want as much wealth on our team as possible as far as talent and good players. And Fred is a part of that contingency, and he's a very important part of it. Nameless is saying KOLOKO looks so good in the middle. Oh my gosh, permanent fixture. He's going to be a defensive player of the year multiple times in a row. I can guarantee it. That's really lofty goal for him. But I could see it. He's the kind of player that would do that with that kind of defense and mobility. It's really the mobility with the length that's insane. You'll either have somebody who's really long like that, but they're just not fast. They're just not quick to react or move around. But the fact that he's fast and he's quick to move around, that is just something that's special as far as a combination in a person as an NBA player. And that is what's going to bring him those defensive player of the years that you're talking about right there. Because it's similar to Mutombo in some ways. Mutombo was very mobile big for a guy his size. He could get around because he wasn't that heavy. And KOLOKO's very similar in that way. Shane Waters saying, good morning, friends. Working and lurking, but just want to say, let's go Raptors. Great team effort last night. Thank you, Shane. And yeah, it was great game last night. And thanks for giving us the heads up about Scotty being on Twitch. That really is helpful to me. Some reason I don't see the email, but I hear you guys talking about it in the messages. And then I'm like, oh, he's on. And then I go find it. So you've kind of actually been the alarm for me to go find him and see that he's on there and stuff like that. I really appreciate that, Shane. Monique saying, what do you think more of the salary cap news that just came out 2 days ago? Well, they're talking about putting a hard cap and saying that they do want to limit these contracts that are coming out these days. The players are just getting more and more bigger numbers, and they want to know, where is the limit to this? Like, when can we say, well, this is enough and stuff like that? So there's going to be a bit of a fight between the Players Association and the league as far as whether they can have a hard cap or not on paying players. This is the most you can pay somebody, because right now there isn't in some ways and stuff. So there's a little bit of weird stuff going on that's going to be involved with the collective bargaining agreement and the new TV deal and stuff like that. That's all going to have to get sorted out and stuff. There could be a strike at some point, which I don't want, but that's the things we got to worry about or think about when that time comes and stuff. But that's what they're saying, that they want to put a hard cap on how much the players can earn at the very top. And the Players Association ain't about that. So there may be a bit of a fight. Johnny Alvarez is saying, hip hop nowadays for these kids, zero positivity. Love what you do for us. Thank you. Listen, I think that's true in some ways. Like, there's you can have a really creative beat, you can do a creative stuff, but the creativity is not really there. It's more like style and feel, and it's kind of like they use a lot of autotune, and there's a lot of like it's similar. Like, there's not a lot of difference in some of these guys and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I watch it all right now, and it really is bad. There is some really good artists though out there, like as far as hip hop, that are killing it right now. Like, I just find that, like, a lot of the regular stuff though, that's like I described earlier, is just, oh my gosh, it's absolute garbage too. So yeah, I hear you, Johnny. And there are hip hop artists that are still doing it these days the right way and stuff like that. There's just a lot of crap too. Oh my gosh, there's so much crap. Shane Waters is saying Tom would definitely give out maple syrup with French toast to bulk up them future ballers. So maybe out west, cool boy, that they do give out maple syrup at the door in Halloween. Maybe out in British Columbia, they're doing that. Tom Duke is doing that to get the youth strong for future Canadian basketball players. I like that. That's good. He's part of Team Canada, probably. Raymond Jacobs saying, you're not going to get great hip hop with these youngins. I only still listen to 90s hip hop. Bone Thugs forever. Yes, Raymond Jacob. Well, you'd be surprised. I actually find pretty decent hip hop from time to time these days. I could share my playlist of the best hip hop videos of 2022 after this. I'll put it in my comments and y'all can see the hip hop that I approve of and think is creative and done really well these days and stuff like that. There are a few artists that I have a lot of respect for. Kendrick Lamar is very, very good still. That's the thing. You can do stories about videos about certain culture, but you really need to paint the side of it that's not glamorous. And you need to kind of also kind of put something to it that's meaningful and worthwhile, that may be changing the world for the better and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like with, you know, with music these days, is it worthwhile? What is your message? What are you putting out there that into the world that's going to come back around? Is it going to be more shooting and more young people killing each other? Then that's probably not the best content, the best hip hop kind of music to be making and stuff like that. All right, let me go over the box score a little bit more detailed. Looking at the Hawks first, John Collins got a double double, 12 and 12. But he did foul out. He was 5 for 12 for the night. None of the Hawks really shot that well. Clint Capella did, but he was, he's a center. He's going to get all that stuff up close, and it's mostly lobs and easy dunks and stuff like that. That's why he shoots 6 for 7. But the rest of them all shot under 50% for the most part. Holiday off the bench, 5 of 8 though, and Johnson 2 of 3, and Okongwu 3 of 4. He was a little annoying. Okongwu was doing a couple things last night that were a little annoying, but otherwise, most of the Hawks were very easy to deal with. I think the starters, for the most part, weren't that tough. And then, their bench isn't as good as they were. They weren't that good, and I was right. They're not. They don't have a good bench this year, Atlanta. Now, on our side of the ball, Pascal, fantastic. First star of the game. KOLOKO, fantastic. OG, second star of the game for his defense. Scotty, playmaker, great third star of the team game. Gary Trent Jr., fantastic last night. Chris Boucher off the bench, 4 of 6. 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, assist, a steal, 2 steals, and a block. 11 points. That block he had was fantastic. Hernan Gomez didn't score, but got out there for a little bit. Precious, 18 minutes, 2 of 3 from the field, 6 of 6 at the line. Precious's 3-point free throw shooting is so much better this year. I'm so happy that he got good at free throws this year. 10 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Not very big game from Precious, but solid game. Champagny, 4 points on 2 of 2, 2 rebounds. Really good job by him. Kem Birch was solid when he came out, 5 points in 9 minutes. Nick Nurse was saying in the interview afterwards that he was really happy with Birch and what he did. Malachi Flynn didn't play a whole lot. I thought he played more last night, but he didn't. 9 minutes, 4 points. Jeff Dowtin, 5 minutes, 4 points. Delano Banton, 5 minutes, 5 points. And then Ron Harper got in and played in his first NBA game ever, but he did not score. But at least Ron Harper got his first NBA game ever. That was his first time playing. Let's see. Do I have a favorite rapper of all time? Yes, I actually do, Raymond Jacob. Is Del the Funky Homo Sapien is my favorite rapper of all time, all round, ever. It's Del, baby. Del. But I also like MF Doom. The KRS-One. I mean, there's quite a few. There's a lot of old school people. Like more new school. I'm really into, I don't even know how to say his name. Jid or JID. I think he's like the best hip hop artist this year is Jid. JID. He's fantastic. His videos are amazing. Oh my gosh, so good. But yeah, I'll share that playlist with you guys after this in the comments. You can check out the latest hip hop that I think is badass and the best stuff right now. Monique saying Spurs up next, but many will talk about Primo. Shaking my head. Let's go Raptors. Yeah, he's cleared waivers now. And but he's got him. He's gonna be done. He's done for his career. He's never gonna play in the NBA again. Watch. Because it's you can't do this kind of stuff in today's world. That's really, really bad. You shouldn't have done it before in the old world, but people used to get away with it back in the day. And now it's different times. You can't do it anymore. Dizzy B saying, been humming my Raptors tune of the day, the theme from Arthur with the iconic line, believe in yourself. That's the way to start. You're talking about the movie with Dudley Moore? I don't know the tune to that song, or I would sing it for you right now, David. I don't think I've seen Arthur. Isn't it like a movie where he's just drunk all the time? So it's like, and I say, hey, what a wonderful day is today. See, Raymond knows it, but I don't know it. No, the cartoon Arthur. Oh, see, I'm too old for Arthur the cartoon. I never watched that cartoon because I was already like an adult when it came out. So I don't know the song to Arthur the cartoon. See, I think it's Arthur Dudley Moore movie. That's how old I am. Oh my gosh. You ever heard of Harry Mack? All his hip hop is off top. Nothing but positive vibes. Just checked out his live show. He made me find my love for hip hop again. Awesome. I'll have to look up Harry Mack and stuff like that. No, the kids show. All right, we're right in an hour. Why don't I cut this off right here, right now? Thanks for watching me this morning. Great game last night by the Raptors, routing the Atlanta Hawks by 30 points. Fantastic stuff. We see Scotty Barnes, look like a very capable playmaker running the team. Now, let's temper our overreacting to being like, oh, this means we can get rid of Fred. Let's not do that, guys. This is not the time for that. We need to continue a strong unit with everybody together. And Fred is important to this team. Keep saying that to people that say otherwise, wherever you see that and stuff like that. He's very, very important to this team. Yeah, and that's about it. I don't know what else to say. I'll be back tomorrow for San Antonio preview. And yeah, good stuff around the NBA, good stuff by the Raptors, and so much fun to go to the game. Thank you, Toronto Raptors. Thank you, MLSE, for hosting a fantastic Halloween party last night. I really enjoyed myself. Let's go. Please subscribe if you like the stream. Raptors!